are ready for a takeoff, and I strongly believe that Bihar has got the every potential to become a major growth engine in the entire eastern India. When they have a question that why Bihar, I always say why not Bihar, because Bihar has got everything. I'll accept it that there was a time where kidnapping for ransom had become an industry in Bihar. That was a time, I think, one of the darkest phases of Bihar.
Namaste, Nitish ji. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us.
No, it's my pleasure, and thanks for inviting me for this.
You're having such a busy schedule. So, how is the average day of campaign in Bihar? Is it any different from any other state?
I think mostly it's the same. I think every state doing few things, it might differ, but if you talk about in general, the things are the same, the process is the same. Mainly the methodology or the type of campaigns might vary. But otherwise, because now this is a festival time also, Deepavali and then the auspicious Chhat Puja. So few days would be totally engaged in these festivals, and elections are to be held in two phases only, 6th and 11th. So it's a very, I think it's a 3 weeks time now. So in a way, I think in a month's time, a new government or a new assembly would be in a position and a new assembly would be formed.
So, tell me the place that you are elected from, Madhubani district. There's a lot of tourism potential. There's obviously a lot of art that comes from there. So, what is special and what would people outside of Bihar who may not be aware must know?
If I say Madhubani, that is the art capital of Bihar, it's not an exaggeration, because I think globally now, the local painting, which is known as the Madhubani painting, few people call it as a Mithila painting, and it's a GI tagged as a Madhubani painting. And in a couple of occasions, Honorable Prime Minister has also gifted Madhubani painting when he has interacted with international dignitaries or the head of the countries. So I think it's an art because the people, the artists use natural colors that the colors are made of flowers. And it's a different types of art form where the artist can depict anyone, like maybe to do with the Ramayana circuit or to do with the traditional way of Mithila culture. And Mithila, fortunately, has been very rich in culture. And apart from Madhubani painting, now the biggest thing is the Makhana, the superfood.
Yeah.
Because the Mithila region is the area where about, I think, more than 90% or maybe 90% of Makhana cultivation is done in the northern part of Bihar, particularly the Mithila area. So Mithila is known for its cultural heritage, it's known for our art, it's known for our tradition. So it's a very culturally rich area.
Makhana has become the center stage of politics here. We've seen Rahul Gandhi, Tejasvi Yadav, everybody sort of going there, so telling that the farmers need to vote for them. So in fact, like, was it like a policy push, which is why it became famous? Because today, like the city I come from, Bangalore or Delhi, wherever you go outside to a restaurant, there will be some Makhana food. So how has it been made possible?
I think gradually people have started because the moment there is a shift now, everyone has become health conscious now.
Yeah.
And post-COVID, definitely health has become a major concern, and everyone want to have a very balanced diet and a very healthy food they would like to have. And fortunately, Makhana, it has got everything. And Makhana, which few people call it as a foxnut also.
Yeah.
And now it has its acceptance. You have rightly said that it's no longer limited to Bihar or it's no longer limited to the Mithila region. I think across globe you will find Makhana. Even internationally also, you will go in any big superstore, you might get a Makhana, maybe in some form, raw form, or roasted form. So it's, I think it's a thing which has become a person's part of their daily dietary now. It's a natural shift. Even now the children have started liking it. And parents are also encouraging them not to have those normal chips and wafers. Now they are pushing them to have and taste Makhana, and fortunately Makhana is now available in different flavors as per one liking. So I think it has, if we say it as a superfood, I think it has become a superfood now.
There is like everybody, because they come to other cities, they go abroad, the average young Bihari is very aspirational. I mean, even if I were from Bihar, I would not want to go anywhere else. मुझे वापस यहीं पे आके कुछ फैक्ट्री दुकान खोल के या स्टार्टअप शुरू करके मुझे यहीं पे करना होगा. So in that sense, how was it when you took over the ministry, or say how difficult was it to run business in Bihar? Is it still difficult? What's your game plan?
I belong to a generation which has seen the maximum migration from Bihar.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the 90s.
Right.
Every person in Bihar, whenever he or she got the opportunity in terms of higher studies or maybe for seeking some employment, that was a time where Bihar has seen maximum migration. There were not many business opportunities coming in Bihar. The industries gradually closed down.
Okay.
2005, definitely that was a time when Bihar's real turnaround started under the leadership of Mr. Nitish Kumar. And in last 20 years, I'm not saying this because as I'm a minister, but as a Bihari, that Bihar has seen a transformational change. Even if you have seen Bihar and if you have seen Patna, or maybe if you have traveled to other places, there was a time when from Patna to reach my constituency used to take about 8 to 10 hours.
Oh, wow.
Now it's about 3.5 hours time. Electricity availability is 24/7. So now these are the few things, because if you talk about the investment opportunities, or maybe if you talk about industries, or maybe if you talk about job creation, unless and until a state provides a basic infrastructure and an ecosystem or an environment and a conducive policy, you cannot expect any investment to come to a particular state. But now fortunately things have changed with the new airports coming in. If you will see, the air connectivity has improved in Bihar, rail connectivity has improved, major express highways are coming in, road connectivity has improved. And from now, if anywhere you travel, and if it take about 5 to 5.5 hours to reach Patna. So this is a huge change which Bihar has witnessed. And now I think this is the time, because I feel at times people, they say that no, you have taken too much of time. But I think every state might have gone through this stage.
Sure.
Because now we are in a position for a takeoff. We say it as a Bihar hai taiyar, that Bihar is ready for a takeoff. Now because we have everything. And our biggest asset is the human capital, with the people, the young population which is here. There was a time when we didn't have any institutions, good institutions, but now every district has an engineering college, a polytechnic, ITIs. So we are investing a lot on skill development. And now you can say that our human capital is getting ready for our investment, or investors, they come and they put in a set up their unit. And I'll just add 2 lines to it. Now Bihar is also witnessing reverse migration. The people who were working outside Bihar, now there are a couple of opportunities which has come in Bihar, where we have seen people working outside Bihar have returned to Bihar, and they are working particularly in textile sector, or maybe in ethanol, or maybe biogas.
It's interesting that you mentioned reverse migration. You were settled in Netherlands, right? You were there.
No. It was a program which I did. It was part of education. I was not settled. After my graduation, after my basic education, I returned to Bihar. That
So a
was
lot
about
of the
99
people
2000.
today, like if we look at the larger India story, a lot of multimillionaires, despite India progressing on so many metrics, are choosing to leave India because of an aspiration for better lifestyle and whatever surplus income. The story is perhaps amplified और भी बड़ा है बिहार में, but the potential for Bihar to build itself is also amplified if, say, NRBs return from different countries. So do you have any plans to sort of attract the talent that has gone outside?
There's one thing I think you will also agree. Migration is not an issue only for Bihar. For a better opportunity, anyone will migrate maybe to some other state or maybe to some other country.
Yeah.
Migration becomes a pain if for a basic subsistence. One has to leave his or her home and has to work outside their state. That's really painful. For better opportunity, I think why will one stop that? If you are getting a better opportunity, you will always go. But yeah, definitely, now we are creating opportunities. Government has taken a sankalp, it has taken as a resolution that in next 5 years, we would be creating 1 crore jobs. In last few years, we have given about 50 lakh jobs has already been given. It's jobs like, it's both employment, government jobs, self-employment and employment opportunities. At the same time now, when government has decided that we will be creating 1 crore jobs and job opportunities, industry department has a major role to play, and Bihar has become very aggressive. I'll just give you one short example, that land is of prime importance in Bihar. Maybe if you talk about any developed state, thousands of acres they have for industrial areas, or maybe in some state they have lack of acres land for available for industries. But in Bihar, since independence, we had only about 7,700 acres to be offered for investment. Now government has decided that we will be expanding and our land bank, and additionally 15,000 acres government has approved that gradually we would be acquiring. It's both private and government land.
Just out of curiosity, for audience who may think what kind of land is required for investment, can you explain that?
Actually, in Bihar, we have about 84 industrial areas. Usually, these industries, they come up in industrial areas.
Okay.
Though investors are welcome to set up in their own land, or maybe if they are able to procure land on their own initiative, they are most welcome. But if we are talking about the industrial areas, industrial areas today in Bihar, out of 38 districts, it's located in 31 districts having 84 industrial areas. And in total of these 84 industrial areas, the total land bank which was available was 7,700 acres. Gradually, because once the Bihar Industrial Area Development Authority started giving land, now the land bank, we didn't have that much of land available to give to investors. Then government decided now this is the time that we should expand our land bank. So we have got the approval for about 15,000 acres additional land, which comprises of government land and at the same time private land also, which in due course government would be acquiring it, paying the due compensation to the farmers. Bihar has become very aggressive. I'll just give you one example, that on 26th of August 2025, the state cabinet approved the Bihar Industrial Investment Package, promotion package, which offers the investor that any company which creates 1,000 jobs in Bihar, we would be giving them 10 acres of land free.
Okay.
Now this is something which one could have never imagined, that even Bihar can become so aggressive that Bihar can offer free land to companies who are creating jobs. There's another provision that any company who is making an investment more than 1,000 crores, we would be giving them 25 acres free of cost. Apart from that, for any other investment, whatever industrial area land rate is there, we would be giving them at a 50% discounted rate. So now we have a land bank, we have an excellent incentive package. Package not only provides you the land, but at the same time it gives several financial incentives, including export incentives, maybe to promote environment, and if you are adhering to the environmental norms, we would be giving the investors some additional financial assistance. So now I'll again say that this is a platform which we have built. We are in a position that our infrastructure is ready and we are good to go.
And are the NOCs, clearances, all of that?
We have I think we have a single window system.
Okay.
And when I say a single window system, it has only one window. Never think that Bihar we don't follow ease of doing business. One clearance, you have to apply online. Everything is digitized. No one has to come to the secretariat or to the departments and to offices. You apply online, your lands are available online, you apply, make a virtual tour, you decide if you want to come to Bihar, you are most welcome. But I think what we have suffered a lot is the perception that good things cannot happen in Bihar, good things will not happen in Bihar. So now I have started saying that Bihar ko kanon se nahi, aankhon se dekhiye. That Bihar has really changed. Don't go about what you have heard from someone that what Bihar is. Now Bihar has really changed, and our infrastructure, I'll say that it's at par with any developed state, or maybe better than if you compare with any other state.
So to change this misperception, right? अगर मैं बैंगलोर से हूँ, मैं इन्फोसिस का एक उदाहरण दे सकता हूँ. I can talk about Whitefield and Electronic City. Same with Mumbai. Like right now, Devendra Fadnavis instituted that war room where they're clearing all the approvals that are required for projects. Delhi expressways are being built. So if you were to give a glimpse of, say, how it was 20, 30 years ago for our young audience who may not know how difficult it was and how much we have progressed from there and how it is right now, the glimpses of success of why Bihar is actually re-industrializing, how would you say that, sir?
I think there was a time, Bihar has seen that time when the industry started closing and there was a fear and apprehension, and I'll accept it that there was a time where kidnapping for ransom had become an industry in Bihar. That was a time, I think, one of the darkest phase of Bihar. But now you will not believe big companies are coming to Bihar, major investments are coming in Bihar, and we are giving them approval in days. We have a success story where factories have come up with all the permission in 54 days. These are a few things which no one will believe, but this is a fact that big investment, you name any big company, now they have their presence in Bihar, they are thinking about Bihar, they have shown their interest. And we have signed a MOU last year in our Bihar Business Connect worth 1,81,000 crores. This is not a very, for any other state, it would be a small amount. But a state like Bihar, signing a MOU of 1,81,000 crore means a lot. And one will ask that MOUs doesn't matter what's the reality, how much percentage you have converted. 50% conversion rate we have achieved, where we have given them statutory approvals, we have given them, provided them land. And this is the time, and I will say that one has to come to Bihar. The earlier they decide, because now we are welcoming, we are giving them red carpet, you come to Bihar, you are most welcome to Bihar. And before making an investment, have a feel of Bihar, that how Bihar has changed. The people are so emotional, they will welcome you. And if you are making an investment in Bihar, which I say, that aap logon ki aankhon par rahenge. And this is something, because if an investor is making an investment, and if they will see from their point of view, Bihar today offers everything from ease of doing business, from minimum government to maximum governance. And it's the emergence of a new Bihar, which no one would have imagined that even Bihar has few positive things, and or maybe Bihar has achieved a position where Bihar is also talking about investment and investors, and we are welcoming them, we are helping them, we will be providing every support, all the clearances, and just to add to it, whatever policy support we are giving them, we are not making promises, we are delivering it. Maybe in terms of incentives, if you are eligible, you apply online, we follow a concept of FIFO, first in, first out. You have to upload all your documents. If all the documents are in proper order, your reimbursement or your incentives is directly sent to your account. So these are a few things which no one believes, but I'll strongly say that in terms of ease of doing business, you compare it with any other state, I think Bihar would be at par now.
So when we were growing up, right, in our history and civics textbooks, a very derogatory and unfortunate term was used called BIMARU states, right? There was a time when UP and Bihar was being clubbed together, that this is the problem of India, which was very unfortunate. But versus today, after Yogi Adityanath took over as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, we've seen Ayodhya completely being redeveloped. Purvanchal, there are a lot of expressways. Bundelkhand water connectivity has been provided. In that sense, there is a clear roadmap as to like what people can expect now and 20 years later. Do you think Bihar has perhaps a branding problem in that sense? Because now if as a tourist, like I'm fairly good with my geography, मैं बिहार घूमना चाहता हूँ अभी एक हफ्ते के लिए 10 दिन के लिए. So I can think of Gaya, I can think of Rajgir, I can think of Patna. Maybe if some friends recommend, I can go a little bit further to Sitamarhi or Motihari. Since you were both tourism and now the industries minister, do you think this is a challenge, and is it a fair comparison when they draw parallels between UP and Bihar?
No, I think one thing which I told you earlier, that we have been a victim of perception.
Yeah.
That when we talk about tourism, hardly anyone would think about Bihar.
Yeah.
But I think Bihar offers everything. If you're interested in religious tourism,
yeah,
all the major religions have their presence in Bihar. You talk about ecotourism, you talk about water tourism, you talk about cultural heritage, all is available in Bihar. It's just that some or the other we were not able to position or brand Bihar in that way that you come and you can travel to Bihar and you can see places. You talk about Ramayana circuit. Maybe if you are talking about, for example, Ayodhya Dham. Now we are building Ma Sita's Mandir, and in coming years, I strongly believe that any person visiting Ayodhya Dham would be visiting Ma Sita's Mandir in Sitamarhi.
Right.
So these are a few things that I think every state goes through a time, and I think this is our time. Maybe it's a upcoming of a new Bihar, a new emergence where we are encashing, or maybe we are using all our potential opportunities which can position Bihar in terms of our better branding, maybe in terms of investment, maybe in terms of job creation, developing corridors like you talk about Gaya ji, definitely Gaya, Bodh Gaya, that is there, Nalanda, Rajgir, that is there. You will see that major sports events have taken place in Bihar, Asian Hockey Championship, men's and women, other sporting events have taken. So we have coming up, we have a new cricket stadium which has come up in Rajgir, and it's not only limited to a particular area. I don't know whether you have heard about Valmiki Tiger Reserve. We have a tiger reserve in Bihar. We have tea plantation in Bihar. You can go to Kishanganj and you can have a feel of tea plantation. You can go to Valmiki Tiger Reserve. We have waterfalls. So now I think government has started working on it, and I think with the better branding at different airports and using different mediums for brand promotion, I think Bihar tourism is doing a lot, and I think in coming years you will see a major Bihar's presence, not only in terms of industries but tourism also.
So say if you were to have a vision map like for the next 5 to 10 years, immediately would form the government, what would you start with?
I think definitely, if, I'll just share that CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, they have published a report on basically it's a vision document for Bihar and a roadmap for Bihar's development, where they have projected that in next 5 years, Bihar's economy would be doubled. So definitely we have to work a lot, and I told you that to maintain a good growth rate, apart from public spending, we need to attract a lot of private investment as well. So our main task would be definitely whatever MOUs we have signed, we have to get it grounded, we have to get the project started. There are new projects which are coming, and particularly the new industrial package which has been announced by the government. We have to market it aggressively, we have to reach people, we have to reach investors, not only in India but globally we have to reach them, and we have to invite where we have to show them and that what's the advantage Bihar. And when I ask people, simple one line, that when the people they have an apprehension or when they have a question that why Bihar, I always say why not Bihar, because Bihar has got everything. So our major task would be definitely to bring investment, to create jobs. That's a major thrust on which the government would be working in next 5 years.
You actually hold a portfolio when Bihar is rising, and industries and tourism are perhaps the centerpieces of development. So that must be a little bit of a burden on you.
No, I think, but these departments have a huge potential, and then these are the departments which can bring a transformational change to Bihar. And this is something which not only people from Bihar, whether living in Bihar or a non-resident Bihari is looking at, or maybe who are all the Indians are looking at, because everyone wants that Bihar should be a developed state. We are working with a concept called Hamari Mati, Hamara Rozgar, that we would creating jobs in our own state, and not only jobs. At the same time, we are working a lot on MSME sector, creating self-employment, helping them. We have a strong emerging startup ecosystem in Bihar. No one would have ever imagined that Bihar will have its own startup policy, Bihar will have its own startups. But I think things have changed, and I think I honestly see tourism and industry and urban development as a huge potential for investment, for a better Bihar, brand Bihar positioning, and I'm sure that in next 5 years, the government will be strongly working in these sectors.
Why I asked you about the 10-year vision is that every state when it developed, interesting leaders had a vision for the state. Now, across agriculture, agro, manufacturing and services, like Karnataka is leading on services, Tamil Nadu is leading on, say, manufacturing in that sense. If I am a young 25-year-old or a 30-year-old man who wants to start his business or invest in certain industries in Bihar, what are the 3 industries that will perhaps grow in the next 10 years? And B, like what is the government going to focus on? Is it going to focus on, say, tourism, manufacturing, services? What will be the case?
I think our core strength is textiles.
Okay.
Textile and leather, definitely. Food processing. And I think green energy like ethanol or compressed biogas.
Right.
At the same time, tourism definitely, because there are a lot of opportunities. We have a very attractive tourism policy where we are offering incentives not only to develop roadside amenities but also setting up of a golf course. So that policy is so aggressive. And definitely talk about a vision. I think these 3 sectors I'll strongly say, which I told you, textile, are food processing and green energy. I'm very much depending on the comprehensive economic trade agreement which India and the UK has signed, because there is a major thrust on textiles and food processing. And I told you that Bihar our strength is the human capital, and we are spending a lot on skilling. So once a skilled human resource is available, I think every investor would be attracted, because I think to handle big investments, not only small but big ticket investment also. You talked about IT, definitely that is there. People talk about semiconductor, that is there, but definitely. And I'll just, I think I'll, a new area, Gaya ji, we have a industrial township which is coming up in about 3,000 acres. It has been approved by Government of India. It will become as the biggest manufacturing cluster. It's located on Kolkata-Amritsar corridor. It has a huge potential, and it will be the biggest industrial township of Bihar. So I strongly believe that next 2 to 3 years, you will see a phenomenal change in Bihar's industrial landscape. You know that Bihar has a land of history. Whenever you will read through the ancient Indian history, it's all about Bihar.
Yeah.
Now we are on a journey to make Bihar from a transformation from land of history to land of industry, special economic zones, emergence, functioning of a dry port, that's inland container depot. So I think Bihar is now in a position for a takeoff, which I have been strongly saying time and time again, that Bihar hai taiyar. This is our time and future belongs to us, and Bihar is unstoppable now.
Say in 30 seconds, if I were to convince somebody from Bangalore about Bihar's startup story, and they may have not even imagined the concept of it, how would you explain?
I think I'll just share that we carried a Bihar Startup Idea Festival,
Right.
where the department had kept a target of inviting about 10,000 ideas across Bihar. And you will not believe that we received more than 24,000 ideas. It's basically that every person, I think they have some strength in it. It's just that you need to provide them a platform, maybe to provide them some ecosystem where they can show, or maybe they can use that opportunity. And I always say that the young generation are a blessed generation, because these kind of opportunities were not available about 20 years back when we were in that age group. So now Bihar Startup Policy 2022, we have more than 1,600 successful startups which are recognized and being supported by the Bihar Startup Policy.
Okay.
And in last 1 year, it has shown an increase of more than 1,000 startups. So, and it's not limited to big towns, maybe Patna or Gayaji or Darbhanga or Muzaffarpur. Even if you go to rural areas, you will find startups coming up. And I think Bihar youngsters are full of ideas and full of innovations.
Right.
So I'll definitely, through you, I'll request them that go through the startup journey of Bihar, think about it, and I think in coming days we will be having a very strong startup ecosystem in Bihar.
So how do you focus on districts that have perhaps the lowest denominators in Bihar? Jaise Karnataka mein, like the southern region is slightly more developed, but if you travel more north, the indices will be perhaps same of that of backward districts in Bihar.
But
So what's your plan?
I think the industrial package which has been announced, we have categorized Bihar into two areas, A and B.
Okay.
So B is the area which is having more investment, like maybe in around Patna or maybe Gayaji or Begusarai or Muzaffarpur, where investments are starting coming up. And category A, though, are the areas where they have seen less development or less investment. So we are giving them more incentives. We will be offering more incentives. We will be providing more incentives to investors who are coming to that area. Maybe, for example, if in around Patna, if anyone is getting a reimbursement of SGST to about 250%, if they will go to that area, maybe category area, we would be giving them 300%.
Okay.
So I think every state has some kind of a policy where, if you want to have a complete inclusive development, and when we talk about regional imbalance, because even we have seen that there are few areas now where investors are ready, maybe because of that a comfort has been created, but at the same time we want that every part of Bihar should prosper, and every part of Bihar has its own strengths now. Then I'm very hopeful that...
Is there any one example that you would be very proud of, ki this district was really in tatters and now we are saying that it is taking
Maybe
off
I think hardly anyone would have ever talked about a district called Buxar. I think Buxar has become...
We've always known Buxar for Naxalism back in the day.
But now Buxar, and in an area called Navanagar, it has become one of the most potential industrial area. There is a Coca-Cola putting up an investment of more than 1,250 crores, making India's one of the most advanced plant. We have Pepsi unit, which is almost functional now. We have an ethanol unit there. We have approved a special economic zone. So now these are the new areas which are emerging. And when we talk about a state as a whole, we have worked on a concept called one block, one product.
Okay.
Bihar has administratively, we have got about 534 blocks. Every block has some strength.
Right.
So we have categorized maybe something similar to one district, one product, which the Honorable Prime Minister has visualized, and he is very passionate about that. So in coming years, we'll be working on one block, one product, maybe to harness and promote the local strength of those blocks. And I'm sure that in coming years, maybe next 2-3 years, every area offers something very attractive and very unique, through which we will be able to attract the investors.
I know you have to go. Last question. You've set a target of 5% as Bihar's contribution to India's exports. Right now it's at 0.5%. So what's your plan?
Actually, unfortunately, Bihar is a landlocked state.
Yeah.
We don't have a port. But now we have an inland container depot in Patna, in Bihta area. And it's a dry port. And from there, you can export to any parts of the world.
Okay.
And not only export, you can import also. So now, and earlier what used to happen, that it's not that the exports were not made from Bihar, but it's not counted in Bihar's export, because the port, from whichever port they used to, was the final point, it was counted in that state's contribution. But with the functioning of the inland container depot now, I'm sure that now Bihar has a huge scope.
Right.
And in September, I think 11th of September, Honorable Piyush Goyal ji was in Patna for an event. He flagged off 3 consignment of Makhana. And if I remember, one was for Canada, one was for New Zealand, and one was for United States. So now it's really the export potential which Bihar has, with the functioning of the inland container depot, and plus the export subsidies or the export incentives which we are offering through our policy. I'm sure that the investors, or maybe the entrepreneurs of Bihar, would be interested to export their products. We have a pack house in Patna, we have a radiation center in Patna, and in coming days, we are very confident that Bihar has a huge potential in terms of export. We have a dedicated cell for exports to provide all the hand holdings to the entrepreneurs and investors, that whichever part of the world you want to export, we would be able to guide them. So I think we are very hopeful and keeping our fingers crossed that in coming years, Bihar will also, gradually we will start having a strong presence and talk about exports.
Before we say goodbye, can you look into this camera and give a small message to our audience who may be tracking the Bihar elections, who may be interested in the Bihar story? What is your message, and also maybe some concluding words?
I think because this time only Bihar is going through elections, so everyone is interested in that's what's happening in Bihar. And I'm quite hopeful and I'm quite positive with the work which Honorable Nitish Kumar ji has done in the last 20 years. The people will definitely, the trust which Nitish Kumar ji has and the trust which Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has, the people trust them. So I'm quite hopeful that on 14th of November, when the counting will take place, NDA will emerge very strongly, and definitely Bihar will be, I think, in the safe hands, and I'm sure that the people will not prefer to return back to those regime from where Mr. Nitish Kumar has transformed Bihar from 1990, 2005, and from 2005 to 2025.
Thank you so much, sir. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you.